Okay, hi guys, welcome to another glute and leg burner today. We're just going to be focusing on glutes and legs. So for this one, we are going to do 4 rounds of 40 consecutively per exercise before we go to the next exercise. So you will be doing 4 rounds of 40 on one exercise and then moving on to the next one with 15 seconds of break in between exercises. So it's going to go really fast, a lot of time under tension on the movements, which will be killer for our legs and our glutes. So let's get started with the squat to kneel to jump squat. So I'd like you guys to put a band around your calves around your thighs if you have them. If you don't, it's totally okay to just use body weight. You're going to come down one knee at a time, keeping your chest nice and tall. You're going to bring your hands to the floor once both knees are on the ground. Give me a half burpee, feet out wide, to a jump squat. So down one at a time, half burpee, right into that jump squat. Down one at a time, half burpee into jump squat. Make sure when you do that half burpee that you land wide and on your heels outside of your shoulder distance. Once you've done 4 rounds of 40 on those, you're going to move to lunge to Romanian deadlift. So this is going to be a single leg Romanian deadlift. If I am starting with my left leg out in front, then my right arm is going to hold my kettlebell or dumbbell. If you don't have a kettlebell and you have a heavier dumbbell that you'd rather use, they can pretty much be used interchangeably throughout this whole workout. So I'm going to start in that lunge, and then from the lunge, I'm going to come up, put the weight in my front foot, and come down into a single leg Romanian deadlift, come back up, and go straight into that lunge. That goal, the whole time, is to not let your feet come together, right? So I'm going right from that lunge, my back foot is going to come up and not come back to the ground as I do that Romanian deadlift. If you burn out of that, you can go lunge, stand up, feet together, and then grab your balance and do the Romanian. So if you want to split them up, you can, but try a couple without that little in between and see if you can do those for as long as you can. Once we do 4 rounds of 40 on those, also with these single-sided movements, try to do the same side for the first 2 rounds to really, really get that extra burn, and then switch to the opposite side for the last 2 rounds. We're going to go to back pedal, low, to broad jump to deadlift. So lots of combination movements today. We're going to put that band back on around the calves. I'm going to come down, squat low, back pedal, back pedal, back pedal, back pedal. Then I'm going to broad jump back to my kettlebell and then lift up. You can do calves or you can do around your thighs. The reason I picked calves is because I wanted more focus on the back pedal. You can pick thighs if you want more focus on the deadlift. So it just depends on what you're wanting to put more tension into, your deadlift or your back pedal. Totally your call, whatever you want to do. Once we're done with that, we're going to go to kettlebell swings. I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with these guys. You can do the American kind or just the traditional. So that would be the American kind. If you have never done them before, I wouldn't recommend doing them this time. Just wait for us to be able to help you a little bit more one-on-one. But if you feel comfortable, please feel free to do those. Otherwise, you're just going to give me the traditional, making sure you're really squeezing that glute at the top of the movement. Slight bend in the knees, but all of that power is really coming from that hip thrust back and forth. Once you're done with those, we're going to move on to pulsing pop squats with your band around your calves this time for more tension around your calves. So you're going to come down, give me 1 pulse, back up, down.
Just let her demo, it'll take me
Give
too
me 1
long.
pulse, back up, pulse it down. When you're in that pulse, you're going 90 and slightly below, 90 and slightly below. So really trying to drop down in there, quality over quantity on these guys, all the way down and pop in. If it gets too tiring around your calves, that's where more tension is, you can move it up to your thighs and it'll be a tiny bit easier than if it was around your calves. Then we will move on to goblet sumo squats. As you guys know, A sumo squat is feet pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Widen that base, or widen your feet, stance, whatever you would call it, to outside of shoulder distance or hip distance. And then you're just coming all the way down to the 90 and squeezing up to the top. Really, really nice and slow. Recruiting as much muscle as you can. And then you'll move on to banded or dumbbell bubble butts. So you want your band again. This is going to be the strongest one that you have, the one with the most resistance. Putting it around your thighs. You're going to come down to all fours. You're going to start with the fire hydrant. So you come out in that L shape with your hips, and then you kick it up and around and back to center. So it's like the fire hydrant and the donkey kick put together. So donkey kick, remember, would just be kicking straight up, fire hydrant out, now we're combining them. So out, and then straight up and around. Out, straight up and around. Really trying to hit all parts of that glute on this one. After that, you're gonna move your band down to your calves. Grab onto those hips for a little bit of stability. Put a little bit of tension on, starting with your left, let's say. Left leg, and you're gonna tap out with your right leg. All 3 points. Trying not to step the foot into the middle the whole time. So it's tension the whole time. You're making a tiny little triangle point as wide as you can. It will definitely start to hurt after a while. And then again with that one, since it's single side, stay on one side for the first 2 rounds, burn that out, and then go to the other side for the next 2. For the next one, it's an elevated glute bridge to knee kick. So for this one, you can either use like a couch, Carrie has a wall ball, if you have a wall ball, a medicine ball, anything that can get your feet just a little bit elevated up off the ground. You guys, even like a stack of books, like if you put 2 stacks of books, just something little to elevate those feet. Heels down on your ball or your stack of books or whatever you have, up in a bridge. Glutes are engaged throughout this entire movement. Core is engaged throughout the entire movement. Hands down at your sides, and you're gonna knee kick in and slow and control back out. Knee kick in, slow and control back out. Knee kick in, slow and control back out. Alternating right to left, and really keeping tension on that glute. Like you're trying to squeeze as tight as you can. Add more tension to the movement by putting a band around your thighs. And then you'll go on to your last one of the day, which is a Cossack squat. For this one, you can use a kettlebell, or even just body weight, or just grab, anything, a water bottle, a pillow, something to hold while you do this. Make sure you keep your chest tall the entire time. It's better to keep the right form and just go down as far as you can than trying to go down all the way down to the movement past kind of your point of, what would you call it? Your point of
your whatever range of motion.
Yeah, your range of motion, there you go.
I'm really tight, so you'll see that I don't do it nearly as low as she does.
Okay, so it's basically like a lateral lunge. So I'm gonna shoot my hips back down to one side, keeping my chest tall, and then using my heel on this planted side, I'm gonna push my body back up with that planted heel down on the floor, and then I'm gonna move to the opposite side. So hips go back. If my hip goes back to my right side, I use that right heel to push myself up back to center, and going right to left, right to left. You can start with weight, and then lose the weight if it becomes uncomfortable for you, but try to get a good range of motion, shooting that hips back nice and slow and control, squeezing the glute at the top. Also on that, make sure that you're coming all the way up and squeezing the glute at the top rather than doing like a shifty right to left thing, which happens sometimes. You just want to come up all the way each time with your feet way outside of hip and shoulder distance. So this should be quite a wide stance, so you can really get a full range in those lateral lunges. Once you're done with 4 rounds of those, you're gonna be finished for the day. So let's get started.